Evening people, welcome back to the channel. Yo from Barbados. Evening Mr. Scales, how you doing? So tonight we're back, round 8 of the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League, brought to you by MRC, or Mature Racing Club, over on Facebook. Go check out MRC and definitely go check out Team Oliver Racing, the truck racing maniacs that have helped us with a bit of sponsorship this year. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that. Stuart and Michael, drivers for that team, maniacs. If you ever get the chance, go watch some truck racing. So we are back tonight for round 8, live from Catalunya. We're back with the sprint races. We've got 2 races for you guys tonight. First is of 12 laps, any tyres, no pit stops required. And then we jump into a 21-lap race for race 2. And that is random weather. They must use a set of racing softs in race 2, but all of the tyres are open to use, and you can have as many as you want in the second race tonight. So that's the format we've got. Let's just flick over to get rid of that. So points up until now. LVO Tricks still got a great big lead, really. 65 points. He's leading by LVO Tricks, then 314 points for first. Philo second with 249 points. Blue Racer third with 214. Gecko Racer fourth, 203 points. Potomac Pot fifth with 191. Mart in sixth with 140. Ace Killer seventh with 127 points. Fat Pickles in eighth with 105 points. Got Brinky ninth with 94 points. Punani 10th with 77 points. We've got Jambu in 11th with 48 points. Scotty with 23 points for 12th, and Pilgrim with 11 points on the board. So that's scores up until now as well. Let's get ourselves in the lobby then. Merch still available, people. T-shirts and stickers. Let me know if you want any of those. Hit me up, dartsmoker@googlemail.com. That's enough of that. Right, into the race then. Let me put the sound on, because usually I forget till we're halfway through qualifying. But not tonight, people. Not tonight. Yeah, good to hear from you, Scal. Good to see you're all right. Nearly couldn't speak then. Bizarre. So who have we got in the room tonight? We have got Blue Racer, Gecko Racer. We've got Elvio, we've got Philo, Punani, Jambu, Potter, Mart, and Brinky. Oh, Scotty's just joined as well. He's been in and out, actually. I think he's had a bit of issue getting in the lobby, but he's here. We are a couple of drivers missing tonight. No Fat Pickles Bro and no Pilgrim tonight no, not racing. So 2 lobbies as well. We've got the pros you're watching here, and we've got the Pro-Ams, which I'm not sure if that's live or whether it's going to be post-race commentary by D-Dot over there on Facebook. But yeah, 2 lobbies running tonight, as I say, pros and Pro-Ams. And in the different seasons, obviously when we come to the end of the season, the top 4 from Pro-Ams, or the top 2, sorry, from Pro-Ams get to move up to pros. And unfortunately the bottom 2 in pros move down to Pro-Ams, as it should be. The faster drivers then getting themselves through. Right, so qualifying just about to get underway. We have got qualifying order as well. It's a one-shot qualifying, so they get 1 out lap, 1 hot lap, and then throw themselves back in the pits. If Scotty is in the room, then he should be first man out, I think. Yes, no Pilgrim, so it's going to be Scotty. He should be the first man out. But we are just waiting. We give them a couple of minutes just so that I can get through my waffle before they actually kick off with qualifying, so we try not to miss anything. So yeah, we are live from Catalunya. We're missing the chicane on the circuit tonight, so we very last corner we just come come off, go round the little back straight rather than the chicane at the end, which does slow down the racing a little bit, and it's usually pretty chaotic as well when there's a lot of drivers together. Easy to pick up penalties on that particular point of the circuit as well. We don't like that. Penalties still not quite sorted out in this game. I know the pit lane penalty can be a real pain for some. It's a great big 3-seconder as well. Where are you then, Mr. Scotty? We'll wait for you to stick your foot on the throttle. I think he's going pretty much now. Unless he's going to wait for the next 30 seconds until his slot opens up. There is a 30-second gap in between each driver leaving the pits. Hopefully nobody gets tangled up with anyone else. So we are just waiting for qualifying to get underway. Hashtag ASMR light click. I know you lot like that. Where's Keckwed this week? Has he decided to put the gloves on and race? Come on then, Scotty. Go, Scotty. Oh, I said, yeah. Hold on. Where is he? Scotty. Yeah, 2 minutes he should have gone out. Come on, Scotty. Oh, someone else is off. I think that's Jambu. Jambu's waited his turn. He's coming out at the 2:30 mark, which is bang on his slot. So we'll get a bit of a lap look with with Jambu. Let's get ourselves onto a bit of chase camp. So turn 1. Going to be difficult at the start of the race. You can see all those drivers piling into turn 1, trying to gain places, getting themselves a bit sideways. Where's me track map for this place? I have to listen to this. Look, that's actual paper. It's not digitalness. It's paper. So I printed them all off one day. Now I've got to find it. There it is. Where is he? Oh, he's just come out of Seat. Okay, headed down towards Worth then. Tricky corner this one, just wants to push you out wide onto that bit of sand on the outside. 2 camps are then easy to pick up penalties. It depends what they've got the penalty set out. There is the penalty zone with the 2 yellow markers either side. A catcher then through here again, another tricky corner coming in there very fast towards. He's got it a bit sideways. He's attempting the drift on his outlap. It's too dramatic. He's again. So we would have turned right down that little turn and then back out here, but that's all cut off today. No chicane for this race tonight. Final corner then, and then back onto this long start-finish straight. Now starts his hot lap then, Jambu. Drivers out on track now. We've got Punani and Brinky out. Still no Scotty. So whether he just waits till the end, I don't know. Or whether anyone's even letting him know when to go, I don't know. So through Renault then, up towards Repsol under the bridge. This is about where you heard me rustling papers. Corner, you can go for a bit of a move around there. You can get side by side through Repsol. It's down towards Seat and stuff, but it can be a bit tricky. Oh no. Or maybe Scotty's still having connection issues because he has just left the room, unfortunately, so maybe he couldn't even get out of the pits when we were on board with him. I didn't see anything pop up in the chat, but I'm not looking specifically at that. Mercedes with the Berghardt livery, the company photography business. His dad's racing in the Pro-Ams, I think. Right, coming around to finish his hot lap then. We'll start to see these times coming in now then. Jambu around that final corner, up towards the line then, and sticks in a 140.2, so provisional pole. Obviously he's the only man to have put a hot lap in so far. Then down towards this final corner. Times it over there, Scout. Okay, for Punani then. Let's see what he puts in when he crosses the line as well. 141.6 for him, so he sticks himself at the top for the time being. Brinky, Lexus this season. Risking it round there, kicking up the gravel. Down towards the line then, and he puts in a 141. Half a second faster than Brinky's. What else we got now? Mart out on track, Potter out on track, Gecko Racer out on track. Philo as well. Not up, purple sectors from him. Connection still playing up a little for Mart by the looks of it. Just the wobbly lobbies. And he goes around corners. Jink, 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 jink. Track. If I missed somebody, no, it is you, I think, Mark. Mark, not Punani. What time's he going to put in? The line then for Mart. What's he got? It's a 140.0, so he sticks himself at the top for the time being. We've got drivers coming up behind him. Philo, Potter, LVO, Blue Racer, Gecko. Who should it be next? I think it should be Potter to cross the line. Philo was out before him, goes by points position. Oh, bummer. There you go, Scott Barlow then, the man himself, the Aussie, not racing in the league tonight because he's got no sound on his game, so he doesn't even know what his car's doing. So Potter then throws himself onto top spot provisionally. I didn't see his time, sorry, I was looking at the chat. What a shame, Scott. Gecko then, he then rejigs the grid order, pushes Potter down. He now takes the top spot, 139.3. We've got Blue Race, Philo and Elvio out on track still. So the wonder from down under is not racing tonight, unfortunately. The Diablo, the man himself. Blue Race, and then through that final corner up towards the line. Let's see what he's got. 39, so third position for Blue. Sorry, either way it's going to give you lot epilepsy, I think. Philo and LBO left on track then. Gecko on provisional pole. Did you do that on the mediums as well, you cheeky, cheeky boy? Pole position on mediums, that'll be upsetting the grid. Everybody else out on softs, I think. Philo then. Let's see, two drivers left to put times in, and Philo's put in a Third position time of 1:39.4, and it's just this man left then, Elvio. Towards the line, it's looking pretty quick. And it is, it's a 1:38.5, 0.8 of a second faster than anybody else. Still, good drive by Gecko, second place on mediums. He'll be happy with that. But it is Elvio on pole. So, race 1. Did I say 12 laps? I did, and I was right. Weather's random, so it's not looking too bad. It shouldn't rain, but who knows? Who knows what the PlayStation weather gods might do. So Elvio's going to lead us through on race 1. Again, 12 laps, full tank of fuel, any tyres for the race, no pit stops or tyres required or anything like that. It's just all out, balls out, sprint to the line. For 12 laps. Race 2, we have a little bit of a 10-minute break in between race 1 and race 2. And then we go for reverse grid, 21 laps. They only start with 70% of fuel. Excuse me. Time of day on track is evening. Whether that means they get the lights on, I don't know. Weather is random as well, so again, could be anything in terms of weather. Shouldn't be too bad over here in Catalunya. Tyres, they have to use a set of racing softs, as I'm sure they'll all be doing anyway. But all the other tyres are open to use, and you are free to use as many as you like. They are, not you lot. Scotty might have been able to if he was racing, but unfortunately his update has left him soundless. Bizarrely. Glory shots of pole sitter Elvio while we wait for race 1 to kick off. There it is. Well, not quite. Yeah, a couple of drivers missing tonight, unfortunately. Would have been quite a full lobby. If Scotty could have come in, and Fat Pickles, and Pilgrim. Official results then: Elvio first, Gecko second, Potter third, Philo fourth, Blue Racer fifth, Mart in sixth, Jambu seventh, Brinky in eighth, Punani in ninth. And unfortunately there is Scotty, but no time put in. Scotty 12:30 turning up in the YouTube chat. Unable to race. Shame. Right. Let me in. Give me binoculars. Give me binoculars. Right, here we go then. 12 laps here at Catalunya. False starts are penalised. Let's hope nobody spins it up and sticks it into a pit wall as well. Here we go then. Red lights on. It's a good start by everyone. A little bit of a slip and a slide from a couple of drivers at the back. Jambu and Punani getting the tyres lit up at the rear. Gecko all over the back of Elvio, looking for the slipstream down towards turn 1. Philo right there behind him as well. BMW, Mercedes, BMW. Elvio looks like he's got a pole. He has. He's held that into turn 1. Gecko under threat for that second into turn 1, but he's held onto it. Philo third then. Potter fourth. Jambu making up a position into fifth, as does Blue Racer. Mark gets nudged down to 7th. Brinky 8th, and Punani 9th. See Elvio do his usual and just slowly disappear down the road. Already pulling a bit of time over Gecko, 0.8 of a second, only a couple of corners in. Potter in fourth then. A little bit of a gap developing between him and Philo. Nothing to write home about yet. Just wants to manage that. He's got to keep his eye on Jambu behind him as well. Cleanly again, easy to just drive yourself off circuit around there, trying to push it. Blue Racer 6th, Mart 7th, Brinky on his tail in 8th, Punani right there as well, 9th. Coming around to end lap 1 then. cutting out that chicane. Elvio has got a second lead as they hit this start-finish straight. Let's just keep our eye on this fight here. Philo right behind Gecko. Second, can he use that slipstream, fire himself past Gecko to turn 1. Gecko goes defensive. Philo tries to trick him a little bit side by side into turn 1. He's going to hold the line into turn 2. Can Gecko hold it next to him? I don't think he can. He can't. That does give Philo second place for the time being. Gecko gets pushed down to 3rd then. Let's change that view back up. Field starting to spread out a little. Elvio 1.8 seconds up the road. That BMW suiting him very well this season. Philo chasing him down. Gecko just losing that position. Potter falls a little bit further back. 1.4 seconds between him and 3rd place now. Jambu still right there with him. Blue Racer on the back of Jambu. Art's still there. Brinky is still there. Punani, what have you done? 17.2 seconds down in the pink Mercedes. He's got it terribly wrong somewhere. He's on the medium tyre, so could have just been trying to keep up with one of the drivers on the soft tyres and sent it. Forgot he was on the mediums, maybe. Beached himself, I don't know. 1.3 seconds for Elvio then. Philo starting to bring that gap down a little bit, pulling a little bit more time over Gecko. Or Gecko deciding he doesn't like those cones there. I want them somewhere else. Hopefully not in the middle of the track. Not going to cause anyone chaos. Potter then. Oh, great big gap developed. 3.4 seconds. Blue Racer's also made his way past Jambu. He's up into 5th. For nearly 5 drivers if Brinky can get onto the back of Mart. 0.8 of a second back at the minute, which should close up. Everybody hanging on to Potter's slipstream at the minute. Potter, Blue Racer, Jambu, Mart and Brinky in this little train now. Punani doing anything he can to get anything out of this race. 18.4 seconds back on those medium tyres. Maintaining that gap, keeps it at about 1.5. Dukes, evening mate, on boards. There you go, there's some on boards. How's that? That's some on boards. Let me just go full on board, here we go. So on board with Philo, chasing down that top spot of Elvio in front. 1.1 seconds he's managed to drag that time down to. More time over Gecko behind him as well. That's stretched up to about 1.2, 1.3 seconds. He's blown his tyres out too early though, Philo. Through this final corner then. 1.1 seconds, just out of the slipstream range as they hit this start-finish straight. Gecko well out of the slipstream range now as well, 1.5 seconds back. There is that next battle. Let's go and have a look at that. On board with Potter then, under threat from Blue Racer. Closing up as well in the McLaren. Potter swerves back over to the racing line. Blue Racer closing up, goes for the inside line, but it's too late for that move. Holds that 4th position. It's by the skin of his teeth at the minute. Blue Racer all over the back of him. A little bit of a gap developed between Blue Racer and Jambu, but that might close back up. Martin still there as well. Brinky just hanging on to the back of that fight. And Punani, unfortunately, having a mare on his mediums. Oh, Potter's on the mediums as well. I hadn't realised that's why the gap's developing between the top 3 and himself. That's why he's under threat from these drivers behind as well. Blue Racer, I can imagine. Oh no, he's not. He's on the mediums as well. Alright, I'll shut up. In the thick of it now then, Blue Racer we're on board with. We've got Potter in front, Jambu behind. Again, Martin just tucked on the back end of that fight. Brinky just trying to hang with him as well. Nissan versus McLaren here, but McLaren didn't want to turn there. Did not want to turn through there. Potter's managed to pick himself up half a second penalty as well, running all 4 wheels off the circuit. You'll have to wait till the next lap to serve that one. Just come off the straight where the penalty zone is. Under threat here from Blue Racer as we're heading down towards this long start-finish straight again. Blue Racer risking it, nearly catching the gravel on the way out of that corner, and again just having to back off there, giving Potter the tiny bit of breathing room. Is it going to be enough though down this straight? He is within slipstream range. Not got to be too worried about Jambu. Jambu's still getting a toe, but not enough to warrant a move into turn one. Blue Racer, McLaren not able to make the move on Potter. Let's go and see what's happening with Philo. He's not managed to close that gap up really, still at 1.2 seconds. Tyres are looking very similar between the two BMW drivers. A little bit more fuel on board for Philo. It shouldn't matter this race though in terms of fuel. Gecko on the softs falls back even further, 2.7 seconds down now in the Mercedes. Potter McPot on the mediums with that half a second penalty towards that penalty zone as well. How dramatic of a loss is it going to be for Potter? Racer, possibly Jambu. Here goes Potter then, losing his penalty now. Slows down a little bit. Blue Racer gets past Jambu. Gets past. Nearly taking Potter's front bumper off, but he gets past. To fifth then for Jambu. Fourth Blue Racer, Jambu fifth, Potter in sixth. Mart seventh, Brinky eighth. Still, there's a little wobble on coming through there as well. Medium tyres. Nani falls even further back, 33.8 seconds. A terrible first race here at Catalunya. Tyres screeching all over the place, but nobody going sideways. Elvia then keeps his 1.4 seconds lead. There's the gap between those two and third, starting to open up even more. Racer starting to pull a little bit of a gap over Jambu. That stretches almost up to a second. Potter almost out of the slipstream range of Jambu as well. He's got Mark for company behind him. Two Nissans very closely matched. Brinky has got himself bolted onto the back end of Mark, so it's gonna have a little look here probably. His tyres don't let out. Kunani again, unfortunately, just not having a great race at one. Oh, Philo's gone deep through there. He's gone very deep through there. That's going to create a massive great gap for Elvio. Struggling, there's Philo getting it sideways. Oof. Gap up to 1.7, not losing that much time actually. Philo, I thought he would have lost a lot more going as deep as he did. Driftertron obviously claiming that time back. So 1.7 seconds then, starting lap 7 of 12. Wasn't able to take advantage of that either, it's too far back. The race though, he's under threat from Jambu. Potter's trying to pull his way back into this fight as well, again dragging Mart and Brinky with him. So a little bit of a three-way fight, but opening up front. A five-way fight here, but again just starting to stretch out as we head towards these last laps. It's going to start playing its part soon as well. Wow, Jambu almost up the inside. I thought he was going to take out Blue Racer. Almost went for the move. Jambu looking dangerous though, trying to get himself. Not like that, he won't. Sideways action from Jambu then. Let's see how much time he's lost. Not able to take advantage of that little mistake either, so working out in Blue Racer's favour just there. that's 6th. Mart 7th. Rinky right behind him in 8th. Punani now with a little penalty to lose as well. We'll start at the front of the race for race 2. To close this gap on Gecko. Everybody's struggling a little bit with the tyres now. The softs front left absolutely devastated on Elvio's car. Again, Philo is on the same tyre strategy, same car as well, so his tyres will be in exactly the same condition. Medium tyre drivers' tyres will start to work now then against these top 3. Having to take it cautiously around these corners then. Not so much on the lefts, they've still got quite a bit of grip on these right hand side tyres. The right hand side, the right hand turns, they're having to take their time. Let's have a look. Yeah, absolutely blazed out on the left. Philo's in exactly the same condition. Let's just jump on board with Gecko, so he's on the softs, a little bit more life left on the Mercedes. Help him out in these final few laps, we'll see. The boys behind on the mediums might be a little bit too far back now. 11.3 seconds back to the medium tyre drivers. Here they are then, Blue Racer in 4th, Jambu 5th. He's on a set of softs though. Mercedes not looking too bad in terms of tyre wear on the softs. Potter on the mediums in 6th, Mart on the mediums. Rinky's on the mediums and Punani's in the pits. Looks like he's seeing this one out just there. Yeah, tyre wear is starting to play its part then. Elvio stretches his lead out to 2.7 seconds over Philo. And from left screaming out to be changed on both the BMW drivers' cars. Again, Gecko able to close that gap up on the 2 in front. Be enough to get a move before the end of this race. Again, a lot more life left in his tyres than the BMWs. Loads left in terms of tyre wear for the medium tyre drivers as well. Mr. Lewis, evening. No racing for Mr. Lewis tonight either. Jambu then on that soft tyre, keeping himself in touch with Blue Racer. Potter not doing a bad job either on his mediums. 5 have been pretty close all race. Brinky in the Lexus. Tyres looking astoundingly good. Still just hanging on to the back end of Mart. Philo is having all sorts of trouble here now then with these tyres. Front left is pretty much all red. He's got the tiniest of, teeniest, weeniest of bits of white left on it. Versus Gecko, who's got a great big chunk. And there you go. Able to just carry a little bit more speed out of that corner. Oh, thought you were going for a bit of a bump draft then, but Philo says no, we're not playing that game. I'm going to the racing line, sorry, the inside line, and if you want it, you're going to have to go around the outside. They're going to try and close themselves back up on Elvio in front, but not to be. Philo going massively defensive then, leaving the door wide open for Gecko to just slot one up the inside with that slightly grippier tyre. Whoa! Nearly a collision. Philo just gets him under braking, but Gecko carries that speed through. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Where are you, Philo? Oh, he's still side by side down in towards Worth. Holds that, into Seat. Holds it as well as we head down towards Worth. Real brave driving between these two, side by side with no grip left. This is all helping Elvio out. The gap stretching up in front. Barely see his car on the screen now. Slamming it through the gears then to slow that Mercedes down for Gecko. Right on the back end of Philo again as we come round to finish lap 10. Just looking for an opportunity. You can see Filo struggling here. Gets the back end out. Now is the opportunity for Gecko then. Can he carry the speed through this final corner? Not quite as close as he was on that previous lap, so it could all be falling away from him. Let's just... Filo doing anything he can to try and drop the toe as well. Elvio just hitting turn 1 now. Great big gap, 4.8 seconds between first and second. Still right on the tail of Filo as we hit lap 11. Blue Racer then holding this 4th position. Gap starts to stretch between himself and Jambu in 4th. Potter going back for that 5th position as well and gets it. Mercedes struggling on tyres himself now. He's got to be careful. The 2 drivers behind might be able to get him before the end of this race. Mark just a second behind him. Still plenty of life left in his tyres. Brinky's made a little mistake though. He's 4.7 seconds back. Bit of work to do if he's looking to make that time up in 2 laps. On board with Mark then as he chases down that 6th position now. Unable to close that gap up. Jambu still getting a little bit of a toe off of Potter in front. Let's go and have a check on this 2nd place race, which is still kicking off here. I was struggling to get it stopped through there. Last lap then, absolutely nothing left on the left hand side of these cars in terms of tyres. You're down to the bare threads at the minute. Now everybody's struggling through this final corner, nobody able to do anything in terms of defending or catching up or anything like that. Filo chucks himself around the circuit trying to lose that toe again for Gecko. They're battling so much, Elvio's probably about to cross the line after that final lap. Filo holds the line into turn 1 then, keeps hold of that 2nd. Gecko all over the back of him again. Filo does know how to defend though. Into that BMW does look a little bit loose. He's got to be able to hang on to that as well without getting it too crazy. So final lap shenanigans here then. Elvio way up the road. He is 6.6 seconds away from this battle. Hart still stuck behind Jambu unfortunately as we hit this final lap. I wonder if he manages to make that move. Looking good for Filo though. He's looking like he might be able to hang on to this 2nd. Commentator's curse, this is where he sticks it backwards. Keeps hold of 2nd. Elvio nowhere to be seen, 6.8 seconds up the road. Filo looking for a different line through here. Gecko looking for a different line through here from Filo. Couple of corners then. Let's just jump on board with race leader and more than likely winner, being he's only got this corner to go. There he goes then, up towards the line then. Elvio takes top spot in race 1. Filo, is he going to hang on to this one? He is. He's going to hold on to 2nd. Really good race between Filo and Gecko then. Filo takes 2nd, Gecko 3rd. Potter takes 4th. Oh no, Blue Racer's ended up backwards or on fire or something. He's fallen to the back of the field. Potter's going to take 4th. Jambu's going to take 5th. Mark's unable to get that position off him for 6th. Brinky takes 7th then, and Blue Racer ends up 8th. What happened, Blue? I'm sure we'll find out in the chat. What happened? He was right in the thick of it there. Punani not having a great race on, so he's stuck himself in the pits. Sure we'll see him out in race 2. And there he is, Elvio then taking pole. You get fastest lap? Yeah, why not? He'll take fastest lap as well. 1:39.3. So extra points for Elvio. Gets a point for pole. Gets a point for fastest lap. And obviously he's got maximum points in race 1. Race 2 yet to go, where he will start from the back of the pack. So we have about a 10-minute break in between race 1 and race 2. Just to give drivers a little bit of time to get themselves sorted out, go to the toilet if they want to, etc, etc. And then we're crack on with race 2, which is a 21 lap race. Same circuit, same setup, different time of day. They do have to use softs in the race, and you can see absolutely blown out after 12 laps. They are free to use any tyres they want. They have to use a set of softs though. Obviously mediums being the optimal tyre, I believe. So we had to give Elvio a few glory shots for taking pole, didn't we? Here he is on screen again. Glory shots for taking the win. I did say at the start, I wonder if he was going to do his usual and just disappear. He didn't quite get it done as much as I thought he would. He was still under a bit of threat from the two drivers behind it. It was nearly 7 seconds by the end of it, but that's only due to the fact that Philo and Gecko are having a bit of a punch-up. Really good side-by-side battles going on between those two, especially around some of those tricky long hairpins and down towards Sayat and Worth, and just managing to keep it side-by-side through there without shunting either driver off circuit. Again, really good, respectful, trustworthy driving, which is what we come to expect in the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League, well, in any of the sim racing leagues, whether it be P1 or MRC or any of the others. Nobody wants an idiot to come in and start playing dodgems, do they? So we don't. You get penalised. There's enough of you then, Elvio. Winner or not. Don't even get to see your overalls for very long because I was too quick. Elvio then takes the win in race 1. Philo 2nd, Gecko 3rd, Potter 4th, Jambu 5th. Mark takes 6th, Brinky 7th, Blue Racer. What happened? Come on, in the chat. Come on. Tell us what happened. I know you're listening. What happened? Did you get sent? Was it just a genuine mistake? What happened? And poor old Punani, still going. Look, running, still running. Yeah, not having a great race 1. Poor Punani made a little mistake quite early on. Fell a little bit too far back to have any kind of chance really. I think he was 16 seconds back by the time we caught up with him after the mistake. It just seemed to get bigger, unfortunately. What are you getting blamed for, Blue Racer? What are you on about? I think that's just post-race message. Come on, Blue, in the chat. What's going on? What happened? I know you're listening. Come on, Blue. Don't be like that. Come on. What are you doing, computer? Don't open up messages like that. They scare me. So, are we going to be given a time for... Not yet. We will be given a time for when race 2 is going to kick off. Duco demanding the onboards. It's all well and good demanding the onboards, but there's nobody close together. It's not very good, is it? It's better to have roof cam when the overtake's happening anyway, because I can get full 360 rotational business going on. And I can imagine Scotty, instead of been drop kicking his PlayStation to get the sound working and join race 2, has just done something completely different, probably. Yeah, real good racing in race 1. Again, the field not too spread out, really. Apart from poor Punani. Got left behind a little bit, but unfortunately it's what happens. See how he gets on in race 2. He will start from the front of the pack, so he'll be under pressure from word go with drivers behind him. Come on, Blue. Get in the chat. Come on. What happened? Ended a long way back in that 8th position. Still nothing in terms of when the race is going to actually start. Let's have a look. Nothing in there yet. Nope, nothing in the chat yet. I can imagine it'll be about 20 past-ish. Here he is. Here's Blue Racer. I'd already got on the throttle on exit again. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. I knew you'd be in the chat, Blue. You're always in the chat. Cheers, mate. Don't forget to like and subscribe, people, if you're listening, if you're in. I should have done that when there was like 7 people watching, shouldn't I, instead of just the 4. Ah, well, it is what it is. Which corner, Blue? Greedy on the throttle. Again with the tyre wear, although it wasn't too bad on the mediums. Okay, it's a bit broken by the end. But not too bad overall. Let's see what sort of strategies people are playing with in race 2. Who's going to be out on the mediums for the first stint? Who's going to be out on the softs? Will anyone brave a set of hards? We'll be brave. There we go. Potter just given us the start in 3 minutes. So yeah, 20 past 9 on my clock anyway. Top right of your screen. Not you though, Scotty. God knows what time it is wherever you are. 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, or something daft. So race 2 setup again. Reverse grid. 21 laps. They only start with 70% of fuel and they have to use a set of softs. That is the only criteria in terms of tyres. Everything else is free choice, as many as you like, as many pit stops as you like, that sort of thing. Weather should stay good as well. Again, they did say evening, but I don't know whether that, how evening that is in terms of daylight, or whether it's dusk, whether they need headlights, who knows. If it is dark, all you lot see is a load of headlights and some names. Even I struggle to figure out who's where. Especially at the start of the race when they're all jiggling for position. Right, I'm going to get myself in so I don't miss the start of race 2. What are you on, Ricky? What are you testing out in terms of tyres? What are you on? He's on a set of softs, okay. Blue Racer has gone for a set of softs. That might not necessarily be the actual tyres they go out on. Again, both the drivers out on circuit opted for the medium tyre for race 1, so maybe just getting a lap or 2 in on the softs, get a feel for them. drifts again, I think. Tyres are too grippy. Stick on some hards. Stick some hards on the rear. Give that another go. Go for the mullet. The mullet setup. Softs on the front. Business up the front. Party at the rear. That's what you want. The mullet setup. See? Listen to your Uncle Smoker. Alright? Go stick some hards on the rear. Stop messing about. Comfort softs, or something like that. Comfort hards, that's what you want. Massive great sidewalls. More shenanigans from the brinks, now attempting backwards driftathons. Don't think it'll quite work, it'll just end up spinning around in circles. Out on the softs as he was on race 1. Here we go then, we've been given the shout, we're just about to get race 2 underway then. You see drivers just going straight into a wall, then you know. Go. Does make the drivers lose connection a little bit just before they start the race. So here we go then, race 2, 21 laps, reverse grid. Punani leads us out. Can he hold on to it into turn 1? Will Blue Racer be able to sling one up the inside? Red lights go on then. Wait for these to drop. Does anyone peel it out of the start blocks? No. Drivers getting a good start. Gecko getting a right torpedo straight past Jambu. Now on the outside of the circuit is Blue Racer going to get up the inside. Jambu's found a little bit of a slot up the inside as well. He might end up taking the top spot here through turn 1. Not quite. Punani runs around the outside. Blue Racer follows him through. Jambu still trying to hang on to that third. Brinky looking around the outside. Potter. He's getting some Maniac on board, then on board with Brinky, looking for that third, under threat from Potter up the inside. Can't see him with these, let's get the... There we go, holds on to 4th for the time being. Potter slings one up the inside into Sayat, almost hangs onto it. Now himself under threat from Philo. Philo actually gets himself past on the way down to Worth. Mart up the inside of Potter as well, almost. Oh, it's a bit punchy at the back there. Now, I don't know about that, but it looked like there was a bit of contact between Potter and Martin there. Martin ended up on the grass and off circuit. Bit of a punch-up happening up front as well. Blue Racer, Jambu, Punani. Philo just squeezing his way through all of these drivers here, on board with Brinky, now pushed down to 5th with Philo just appearing in the mix. There is Potter, Gecko right behind Brinky as well. Punani deciding he doesn't like any of those cones at all, and I'm taking them all out. Give one to the crowd and the spectators. All kicking off in lap 1 then. Blue Racer leads us down towards turn 1 again, under threat from Jambu here. Again, Philo right on the tail of these top 2. Brinky holding on to 4th. Nani gets himself back into 5th, but not for long. Potter up the inside. No, he's not managed to hold on to that, Potter. He's on medium tyre again. Gecko having a look at the outside. He's got Punani in his way though. Look around the outside of Potter, not able to get it done. Punani holds on to that 5th. Gecko has a little look around the outside of Seat instead, switches sides down towards Worth then. Elvio looking to close up on this fight. Mart as well, getting himself back in this fight after running on the grass. It's still Blue Racer leading. Philo has got himself into second position, Jambu third, Brinky fourth. Let's get ourselves back into this fight then. Punani then, next car under threat here from Potter. Where's he gone? There he is. The soft tyre goes deep there, Punani. Potter not able to make the move. He's on the medium tyre behind, unable to get the power down early enough. Punani struggling, sticks a wheel on the sand on the way out of there as well. Keeps hold of this fifth position for now, but he has picked up half a second penalty for the trouble. Potter closes up on him, dragging Gecko with him. He also looking for the toe. Potter then going for the move. Gecko going for the move. Both drivers slingshotting the way past. Gecko using the toe on Potter, trying to get past him as well into turn one. Looks around the outside, but Potter holds onto it. Punani then gets dropped to 7th, now under threat from Elvio behind and Martin at the same time. Still got that half a second penalty to lose as well as Punani. Right, let's get back up front. It is still Blue Racer leading. He's still holding his own over Philo. 1.1 seconds the gap between these two. Jambu holding on to third. Brinky fourth. Potter still 5th position. Oh, nearly getting it wrong there. Blue Racer stretching those track limits. Philo able to close up on him due to that little mistake. So let's just jump on board with, who was it? It was Punani that got himself half a second penalty. He loses that there. Mart having a go at Elvio in the background. Both drivers get themselves past Punani though. Gecko still fighting for a way past Potter here. Potter on the mediums. What are you on, Gecko? Gecko's on the soft tyres. Potter doing a very good job then fending off Gecko. How long he can do it for, I don't know. Coming up to this long start finish straight, he's well within slipstream range, got no danger of an attack from behind. Nissan versus Mercedes then. Potter again slings himself over to one side of the circuit, trying to drop the toe for Gecko. Gecko has a look up the inside now. Gets himself past on that soft tyre. Potter knew he wasn't going to be able to hold on to that one down into turn one, so he's allowed Gecko through. Needs to hang on to his slipstream now though. Getting sideways in the Nissan. There's Elvio and Mart in the background looking to close up. Punani still hanging on in there as well. Now the gap between Gecko and Brinky, 2.5 seconds. There he is, just going through Worth, Seat. We'll get those corners right tonight at some point. So we can get ourselves back up front then. Blue Racer still not doing too bad a job on those softs. Still got 0.8 of a second over Philo, but Philo is bringing that gap down on the soft tyres as well. No penalties for either driver. Pulling a little more time over Jambu. Closing up again, another 2/10 out of that lead time. Board with Philo then as he gets a little drift on out of there. Tail end of this BMW very, very loose. Is he close enough to make a move into turn one? Gains a little bit of time on Blue Racer into the final corner. 0.3 of a second between them. Time starting to come down then. Not going to be enough, I don't think, into turn one. It's going to be brave if Philo does. Again through turn one into turn two. Through Renault then, keeping himself right in touch with the McLaren in front. Now towards Repsol. Leaving the door open enough for Blue Racer for Philo to stick one up the inside yet. Into Seat then. See, I got it right, I got it right. Gap down to 0.4 of a second. no real opportunities to overtake on this particular part of the circuit without possibly causing himself and another driver an incident. The racer gets a little bit of a wobble on through there as well, through Kamsa then down towards Kasia. Still unable to get the move. A little look up the inside, but again not enough room for Philo to get himself through. Trying to hang on to that McLaren as well just before they get to this start finish straight. Loses a little bit of time through there, not too much. Again closes up into that final corner. Gap. Oh, it's gone wrong for Blue Racer. He's chucked himself off circuit. Pressure's got to him. Philo piling the pressure on through that final corner. Blue Racer just pushes himself a little bit wide. You can see him swerving, just trying to get his tyres clean again before he hits turn one. Now, are we going to see Philo just do a disappearing act? Now he's out front. Keep an eye on that, but he is leading the race now. 0.9 of a second, lap 6 of 21. Blue Racer in second, Jambu third, Brinky in fourth, but I don't know for how much longer. Gecko looking to move up the inside. He's going to move into Repsol as well. So it should be as good as done through there really. Depends what Brinky can do on the exit. We stood side by side down into Seat. Retakes that position. Thank you very much, says Brinky. Nice try, but try again. Elvio up into 6th then. Mart 7th, Punani 8th, Potter McPot in 9th, Potter McPot in 9th, 8.5 seconds back as well. Backwards, I'm assuming Punani even getting past him. Punani then is 8.4 seconds up the road, unfortunately 6.5 seconds behind Mart. So big gaps at the back. Philo then stretching his lead out 1.5 seconds. You can see where Punani scattered those cones. Brinky holding fourth, but Gecko right behind him, hitting the start finish straight again. Let's see, 0.3 of a second between these two. Mercedes starts to close up on the Lexus in front then. Is it going to be enough into turn one? Might be. Swings himself out to the right hand side. He's got his nose up the inside. Brinky backs off and allows him to keep hold of fourth then. Gecko slots his way up the field. Brinky then 5th. Elvio 1.9 seconds behind him. Soft tyres starting to wear out then. Lap 7 of 21. There is Elvio 1.9 seconds behind Brinky. Another 2 seconds behind him. Just see the blue Nissan there. We've got a big gap back to Punani. Not even going to see him actually. 8 seconds down in 8th. And then we've got Potter McPot, another 18 seconds down. Why another 18 seconds down? What's happening? Potter's struggling. Is he? Can't be getting sideways in the car yet. The tyre's looking really good. Struggling with the wheel, maybe. I don't know. Philo is starting to stretch his lead now. Then hitting this start-finish straight once more. About to start lap 8. 3-second lead for the pink BMW. Blue Racer then in second, being closed back up by Jambu. Just half a second in it between these two. Again, not enough for Jambu to make a move into turn 1. Looking to carry more speed through there though, trying to close that gap up a little bit through the turns. 2.7 seconds behind Jambu, we've got Gecko Racer in another Mercedes. Soft tyres on board as well, looking a lot better than Jambu's though. Brinky in 5th, Elvio is bringing that time down. It was 1.9 seconds, it's down to 1.2. Soft tyres really kicking in for Brinky now. The wear on that front left really causing him to slow down versus Elvio's mediums behind. Again, more time. Gets that down to a second just as he hits Sayat, but stretches back up to 1.2. Mart as well opted for the softs in stint 1. They're about blown out. He's losing a bit more time to Elvio. 3 seconds behind him now. Punani another 10.6 seconds back on the softs. Potter 17.2 down on the mediums. Who's going to brave a pit stop for Philo? Yeah, that BMW just looked a bit loose all night. Not opting for a pit stop this time. Blue Racer stops out as well. Does Jambu, he stops out. Gecko Racer stops out. He's nearly a second behind Jambu. Won't be long before he's in overtaking position. We have got Jambu having a look at Blue Racer into turn 1. Blue Racer's gone mega defensive. No way for Jambu to get through there. Can he carry the speed on the way out? Oh, side by side almost. Now he's got the run on Blue Racer down towards Repsol. And there he goes. Gecko Racer comes on firing in there at full tilt. Nearly made his way up the inside of Blue Racer, but it wasn't to be then. Jambu into second. Racer holds third, Gecko right on the back of him though, fourth. There's the train of drivers behind. We've got Brinky under threat. Oh, sorry, no, Elvio Trix has got himself past Brinky. Elvio to 5th then, Brinky 6th, Mart 7th, Potter 8th, Nani 9th. So we are going to see an attack at some point by Gecko Racer on Blue Racer. He goes around the outside. Is it going to be too much? Side by side on the exit as well. Who's going to carry the speed through? It's going to... God, I still don't know. No, it's going to be Gecko. It's going to be Gecko. Blue Racer just ran onto the marbles. Had to slow down a little bit. Fear of running wide. That does put Gecko into third. Then Jambu holds on to this second for the time being. Look at the gap that Philo's got. 4.3 seconds. You can hardly see him. Third, then Blue Racer 4th, Elvio in 5th. Brinky's thrown himself in the pits. Mart's thrown himself in the pits. Potter. I'm not sure if Potter's just really struggling here. He's made a setup change halfway through the race or something, but he's got himself past Punani. But Punani has been in the pits, got a fresh set of softs on his outlap then. Everybody else not stopped apart from the two that are in, Brinky and Mart. Tyres starting to show they're dead. The softs are dead. Philo's front left dead. Jambu's front left dead. Gecko's, yeah, not bad. Not bad, Gecko. Got himself past Blue. Blue's front left dead. Elvio looking good on the mediums, just 2.8 behind Blue, only 8.7 behind race leader as well. Everybody else out on that soft tyre. Will it work in Elvio's favour? He has got to stick a soft tyre on at some point through the race. Potter then in 6th now, yet to stop. Brinky 7th, fresh set of mediums on, and just under 3/4 of a tank. Mart's gone for a similar option, mediums and just under 3/4. Punani, similar options, just under 3/4 of a tank, fresh set of softs though instead of the mediums. Philo stops out for another lap with a broken tyre. Jambu's come in this lap, Gecko follows him in. Blue Racer stays out, Elvio stays out. Still a decent gap between Blue and Elvio, 1.8 seconds. Make those medium tyres work. Jambu in the pits, then Gecko in the pits. Potter yet to stop. It's a little bit sideways on the mediums, Potter. Again, not a lot of wear on those. He's thrown himself in the pits this lap as well. Good measure. through to take that position. Mart's not too far behind him either. There he is, just coming through that final corner. 4.8 seconds behind Brinky. Potter's not even in his box yet. Punani's going to get this position off him. Then stomping his lead, both left tyres. Wow! Screaming out to be changed. Oh, the right hand side tyres are screaming out as well. BMW is all over the place on this lap. Is he going to come in now? His fuel's telling me he might. Will he brave another lap here? Nope. No, he won't. So he comes in 7.2 seconds lead over Blue Racer as he comes in. Racer going to come in as well. No, Blue Racer's going for another lap. Thank you very much. As is, oh, Elvio's coming this lap, even though he's got plenty of life left in those tyres. He's coming in now. So, has everybody else stopped? I think they have, except Blue Racer. Yes, they have. It is just this man out on circuit yet to put a different set of tyres on. He's already gone for the soft, so he can do whatever he likes in terms of tyres now. Depends on whether these tyres let him live around this lap. Philo gets released. Elvio got his tyres on, just taking on board his fuel. Gets released also. Where will he come out on track? Out in 6th position behind Brinky, in between Brinky and Mart. Seconds in front, 3 seconds behind to Mart. Only another 22.5 seconds down. Potter now 2.6 seconds behind him. He has now got a set of soft tyres on. Hopefully that allows that little Nissan to grip a little bit better. Didn't look so pretty on the mediums in that first stint. Blue Racer then literally out of fuel as he comes around this final corner. Tyres absolutely just, his tyres are steering themselves into the pits right now. Here he comes. He's got a 31.6 second lead over Philo. How long have pit stops been? Let me have a blink. 20 seconds. Blue Racer might come back out in the lead of the race, although he'll have to take on a little bit more fuel than everyone else because he used a little bit more fuel than everyone else. Just hitting his pit box now then. I don't think he's going to stay in top spot at all. Big pile of drivers are coming around behind him. Here they come. Philo then comes across the line by, who is behind him? It's Gecko. Racer does come out now though, drops himself out in 4th, 5th or 6th position. Elvio and Brinky having a tussle down into turn 1 as well. Just both drivers getting themselves past Blue Racer just as he came out the pits. So okay, even with a 30-second lead, a 20-second pit stop, he didn't keep the lead. Obviously a longer drive in than expected. Too much fuel, I don't know. Mart's managed to pick himself up half a second penalty on those mediums. He's still 23 seconds behind him. Potter's not been able to close the gap on Punani yet. Both drivers on that medium tyre. Philo still leads then, 1.3 seconds from Gecko. Elvio in 4th, fair way back. Jambu to negotiate past as well if he wants that 3rd position or any higher. Jambu 4 seconds behind Elvio, behind Gecko, and Elvio another 2.2 seconds behind him. Blue Racer another 2.3 seconds back. He's just got himself past Brinky. Brinky gets nudged down to 6th then. Mart 4.1 seconds behind him. Lost that half a second penalty. I'd have been tempted to go for softs to be honest. Throw mediums in the bin. 22 seconds behind Mart still got Potter in his rearview mirror. Let's get ourselves on board with the pot start as he chases down Punani in that Mercedes. Punani getting the final turn, oh very deep, he's picked himself up, half a second penalty for the trouble. Potter is closing up on him as they head down towards turn 1. Still not close enough, I don't think, for the move. No, nowhere near. If he can keep himself this close, he'll get that position off of Punani when he loses his position anyway. Ooh, Potter goes a little bit wide. Turf, the tyres saying no, we don't like that, get yourself off there or we're going to have you backwards. So he loses a bit of time in that fight to Punani. The gap stretches up to 0.9 of a second. He needs to get himself back in touch for when Punani hits that penalty zone. It's not the longest of straights either, so he's got to be on point, Potter. Oh, but Punani's gone deep through Worth. That's going to cost him big amounts of time. Potter closing right up on him as he comes up to this penalty zone as well. It's going to be easy now for Potter. I say that, Potter's just let a massive great foot of throttle off as he's gone through there. Just making sure he doesn't pick up a penalty himself, but he's managed to get the job done on Punani anyway. He gets himself up to 8th, Punani in 9th. Really going to be a battle once Punani had picked up that penalty, unfortunately. So still a little bit of a tussle here between Philo and Gecko, both on the soft tyre as well. 1.1 seconds between them, BMW versus Mercedes. Elvio is up into 3rd. He's got himself past Jambu. That was going to happen at some point. He was closing up. Oh, Jambu's picked himself half a second penalty, so he's got a little bit of a mistake somewhere. Racer might be able to get that position off him if he can close that gap up a little bit more. Now, what can Elvio tricks do from 3rd? 15 laps of 21. We're about to halfway through lap 15. 5.3 seconds behind those two drivers in front. Here comes Jambu to his penalty losing zone. Just there, boom. No, the Racer wasn't close enough to make any kind of move. It's come to a crunch here. Philo's lost a big chunk of time to Gecko. Gecko is just half a second behind him as we hit the start-finish straight. Let's jump on board with the Mercedes driver. Philo decides he's going to throw himself over to the pit wall. No toe for you, Gecko. Sees Gecko not reacting, so he comes back over to the racing line. Gecko wasn't in any position to make a move into turn 1. Is piling the pressure on that first place driver. Again, that BMW has looked a bit loose, especially when the tyre wear starts ramping up a little bit. Keeps that gap at 0.7 then for the time being. Not able to bring that. Oh, he's dipped a wheel on the grass. He kept it pointing in a straight line, but he was unlucky. Loses time to those two drivers in front then. Blue Racer now gets himself past Jambu, so into 4th, 1.5 seconds behind Elvio. Jambu on the mediums, just a second behind him. Brinky in 6th, he's on the mediums as well. 6.4 seconds back for him. Mart in 7th, 5.2 behind Brinky. Pot has got himself past Punani now. He is 25.3 seconds behind Mart. And Punani, well, there he is. Right on Potter's tail. 0.4 of a second. gets a wobble on. He's not 0.4 of a second anymore. Stretches up to a second there. And the battle reigns on here. 0.5 of a second between these two again as they hit this start-finish straight. Gecko will close that gap. Again, it won't be close enough to make a move into turn 1. Tenths on him on that lap. Can he do the same on this lap? A little bit more wear showing on the front left. Oh, Gecko goes very wide through Renault. And it shows as well that half a second gap stretches up to a second and growing. A mistake then from Gecko. Gives Philo a tiny bit of breathing room. Still not able to close that gap up. We've got Blue Racer closing back up on him for this third position. Jambu still only 1.7 seconds behind him. Not out of the fight yet then, Jambu. Brinky 7.6 back in 6th. Martin another 5.5 back. Potter 28.5 back in 8th. He has managed to make a bit of time between himself and Punani. 1.6 seconds. Mistake coming out of Seat for Punani. The back end of that Mercedes getting lit up a little bit. Maybe another mistake from Potter there. Punani closing that gap back down to less than a second. Philo keeps himself out of danger for another lap. Starts lap 18 then. 1.7 seconds ahead of Gecko. Now, will it come down to tyre wear in the last couple of laps? Well, it is the last couple of laps. Is it going to come down to tyre wear now? That's the question. 1.7 seconds. Elvio makes up about a second on those two. Just 2 mistakes on on Gecko's part. Still under threat from Blue Racer here, just a second behind him. Only got to make a tiny mistake here, Elvio, and I'm sure Blue will pounce on that. And again, BMW's tyres, especially on the softs, wearing out very quickly in race 1. Jambu falls a little bit further back now, though. Unfortunately, he's 3.6 seconds down in 5th. Just a second or so behind Blue Racer, but that stretches up. Brinky then in 6th, Mart 7th. Potter's in the pits again, as is Punani. Punani's out of fuel. Potter, what are you doing? Fresh set of tyres going on. Fresh set of softs. He's taken on board no fuel. He's a fresh set of tyres on. Is he just going for fastest lap? He de-throttled coming out of the pits there. Not sure if he's got wheel troubles tonight, Potter. It's an odd position for him to be in. Yeah, no throttle through there either. Look, it's not sure what's happening. Is he just waiting for Punani so we can have a bit of a punch up for the last couple of laps? I don't know. He's going to let Punani get past him by half a lap and then go for a, for a fight with him. I don't know. But it's looking better and better for Philo. He's still got himself 1.4 seconds over Gecko in 1st. Gecko doing everything he can, but tiny little mistakes are setting in, just costing him those tenths which he was gaining on Philo. Elvio not been able to close any more of that time down either. Still 5.6 seconds between him and 2nd place. He has broken the gap between himself and Blue Racer. That's up to 2 seconds. Jambu falls a little bit further back as well on the mediums, 4.9 seconds. Brinky another 9 seconds back. Yeah, the field's starting to open up now as the tyres kick in. Potter and Punani. Keeping it right there together. Punani picking himself up another penalty though, unfortunately. Yeah, so not sure what's going on with Potter tonight. Don't know whether he's got throttle issues or something, but seems a bit God for him to be all the way at the back of the field. So, starting the penultimate lap then, lap 20 of 21. The gap between first and second, fourth a little bit down to a second. Two more laps then, Gecko. Can you get that gap down? What can you do, Philo? Can you hang on to it? Tyre wear really starting to show now then, front left on both of these drivers. A little tiny little bit of life left, a little bit less life left in LVO's. Be careful he doesn't make a mistake on that. Allow Blue Racer to close that gap back up. He's only 2 seconds behind. Safe for 5th. Blinky looking safe for 6th. Again, same for Mark, safe for 7th. Yeah, it does look like, I don't know if Potter, like I say, I don't know if Potter's got issues or whether he's just having a bit of a mess about with Punani at the end of the race. Not usual Potter to be rolling around at the back of the field. Falls a little bit more. Gecko takes another 2/10 out of him, down 2.7 as they hit the catcher. Got a couple of back markers coming up. Probably Potter and Punani, I think. But the gap stretches back open to a second as they're coming down to this start-finish straight. This is really the best time for a move, but it's looking better and better again for Philo. Kept himself 1.1 seconds as he hits this long straight. Out of the tow range for Gecko. We've seen even with about half a second between these two, Gecko struggled to make that time up down this straight and go for a move. So, unless Philo bins it around one of these corners, I can't see Gecko getting past him, to be honest. He's bringing that time down again, but it might be a little bit too late for him. Is going to hold on to 3rd, bar a mistake. Again, that's big gaps all over the circuit. It is really just between these two now, but that's opening up. Gecko, who have you taken out? Why have you got a big lump of damage on your front end? Well, that's cost him any kind of attack on Philo. That gap stretches up to 4.3 seconds then. Philo's only got a couple of corners left to negotiate. Here's Punani and Potter in front. Then coming into this final corner. That's the final corner. Don't run it wide on the way out of this one. And he hasn't, and he keeps it clean. He keeps himself up front and takes the win in race 2. Gecko Racers are going to come home to take 2nd, but 5 seconds back in the end. LVO comes home in 3rd. Close that gap right up on Gecko, 3.2 seconds back for 3rd. Blue Racer takes 4th, another 3.2 back. Jambu's going to take 5th. He's going to be 10.5 seconds back by the time he crosses the line. Brinky crosses the line with a penalty, but still takes 6th. Mark not close enough to take that off him with that penalty, but he did close the gap up a little bit. He will come home for 7th. Potter and Pot then in 8th, being hounded by Punani. Again, I think these two just having a little bit of a ding-dong at the end for the sake of it. Not sure if there was any kind of contact, but Potter ended up a long way back very early in race 2. Punani slings one up the inside in this final lap. Potter's probably going to have him at some point. Sure, he's not close enough. Now it's going to be a drag race between these two down towards the line. put him straight, but it didn't work. He's ended up backwards. Potter takes 8th. Punani is going to come home backwards for 9th. Ignore the yellow. Oh, you got 3 seconds, Potter. Oh, Potter kicked in the teeth right at the end there. 3-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. He was ahead of Punani enough to hold on to that one, so Punani is going to take that final spot. There it was. Race 2, done and dusted. Philo taking the win in race 2 then. Gecko was pretty close to losing that second as well. Elvio had closed the gap up by the end of the race, only about 2 seconds between them. But yeah, again, some really good racing between a lot of these drivers. Very close, side-by-side action. But it wasn't to be tonight for Elvio and the double win. So he did take the win in race 1, but it was Philo that took the win in race 2. So we've got 2 more rounds left. Oh, I didn't know where they were. I had those up. Come on. Come on. That's what I want. Let's tell you where these last 2 races are. They are at... No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. So Catalunya tonight. We are at Suzuka next week. That'll be sprint race. Sorry, that'll be... will that be? Will it be? That should be enduro and then sprints for the last round, unless they're doing a double sprint finale thing. I don't know. But that's about it for me tonight. So we have got Suzuka next week and Interlagos for the final week. We are round 8 of 10. 2 more weeks to go. I myself am back on Sunday night at 9 o'clock for the P1 RCs Tour of America series. So different cars, different tracks all over the US. Obviously US based cars and that sort of stuff. So that's 9 o'clock on Sunday nights, and then back again same time, same place next week, 8:30 for round 9 of the Team Oliver Racing GT3 League, hosted there over on Facebook by Mature Racing Club. Go click those like buttons. So then, people, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, you know what to do. Click all the things, tell all the peeps, and do the stuff. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.